guys, so I am back. This time I'm going to be doing a couple of book reviews and one video, just short and sweet. These are school books that I've been reading with my kids, and we've been having a really good time reading and getting through our day. So basically because I homeschool them, so the first thing I ever do in the morning when we start class is I will read like some type of chapter book. And then this year I'm doing a lot of reading for history, and then I'm also reading for science, and we just, spread it out from there. I kind of suck at science. Like, I don't do a lot of hands-on stuff, but I do, and I'm like, I need to get there. My daughter's going to be in the 9th grade. One's going to be in the 9th next year, and one's going to be in 8th. And 9th grade homeschool looks different because we do go through like a charter school. But anyhow, without any further ado, let me get through these books. So these first ones are hoodoo books, and we've been reading them in the morning. I try to do like a book a month with them. And let's see, school started like in August, so September, October, November. Yeah, so we read at least 4 books. Hopefully I have all 4 here. So this one here, I want to say, was it the first one that we read? I can't remember if it was the first one or if I might have waited till October for this one. This book was amazing. I loved this book. I was waiting for it to come out last year. I seen it like floating around on TikTok, and I seen it, and I was like, I have to like get it. It looks good. And they're like, oh, it's like Harry Potter meets hoodoo. I don't know. I'm not super into Harry Potter. I do like it, but I'm not super into it. I haven't watched all the movies or anything. Like, it's hard for me to get through them. But this, like, I promise you I'd be able to get through this movie. I hope they do a movie or something. Like, I don't know. But this was like really, really good. My girls are 12 and 13, I believe. Yeah, 12 and 13. No, 12 and 14. She just turned 14, so 12 and 14. This did have bad words. It did have some like love scenes, we'll say, but nothing too like horrible. They hear cuss words. I curse a lot. Like, I'm horrible with that. So, but this is really good. It's about a boy who loses his mother, and they don't really have family or anything, and then he finds out he has like some superpowers, and his family is able to like connect to him through that, and they find him, and then he starts going to like a hoodoo school of sorts, like a hoodoo college kind of thing, which I'm like, when I'm reading the story, I'm like, Harry Potter, like, he's too old to be like in high school, but it was college, which made it even better. I kind of like the like college spinoff thing, made the story like a lot better. And they are making a part 2. If you are into hoodoo or witchcraft or whatever kind of thing, you would love this. It's just so much. It's like all that, like all like the black stuff, like in a bowl or in a book, I guess we could say. But I loved it, and again, I just cannot wait for part 2. My 12-year-old I told her, I'm like, oh, I seen they're doing a part 2. It's supposed to come out like next year. She's like, yes, that's gonna be so fun. I can't wait. So we'll be reading it next year for school when it does come out. All right, the next one is A Girl's Guide to Love and Magic. This, again, these are all like the hoodoo theme. This was a cute book. It probably wasn't my favorite, but it was a really, really cute book, and I thought it was really fun and age appropriate for my girls. And she does have a little crush. It's not super like, oh, we're in love, but it's a little, a little cute little crush, and it's like, oh, how cute. But and then the story unfolds pretty cute. So it's about a girl, and she has her grandmother who she loves, and I think her grandmother lived with her, and then she had her mom and her aunt is into hoodoo, and she does some type of hoodoo thing or whatever. And so the mom kind of like bans the aunt from being with the girl, because she's like, you could have got my daughter hurt kind of thing. But the girl like loves her aunt, and she like, talks to her as much as she can, because her mom doesn't really like it. and the aunt is like a big time influencer, and some things go down, and you'd have to read the book to figure out the rest. But it was really good, and again, a family story about like obviously the mom and the aunt, like, you know, had a rift and stuff, and the daughter loves both of them and wants them to come back together. So it's about a family like breaking apart and then also coming back together, and you know, because you need each other, your family, you love each other, and they're like a small family. But it was a really cute book, and then along the way there's a, you know, a cute little boy that she's into and her best friend and all this jazz. It's really cute, and I would recommend it. Like I said, it wasn't my favorite because it was more like a, you know, like a teeny bopper book, but it was really fun to read with my girls. This one here, Conjured Island, we read the author, I think it's Eden Royce is how you pronounce it, her first book, Root Work, and it was really, really cute. And this was, they're like standalones, they don't go together. But again, a book about like hoodoo and conjure, family coming together, learning this stuff. Really, really cute book. Is probably more for like younger kids, but my girls did like it. The little girl, she lives with her dad and her mom's mom, who's her grandmother. Her mom passed away. Her dad's in the military, so grandma is the one that pretty much takes care of her. Grandma gets sick and she has to go live with her great grandmother for the summer while her grandmother is getting better, to which she never even knew her great grandmother existed, and she didn't know anything about hoodoo or anything. And then there's like a little mystery in there. She's trying to figure out why her grandmother left the town that they live in and never like spoke of her family and stuff like that. And so she figures everything out by the end of the book. Maybe I just gave a little bit away, but anyway, she figures it out. Really cute story. I loved it. Super cute. Highly recommend. I thought so far all these books were really, really great. The Fall of the House of Tatterly. This one was it was pretty good. Again, it wasn't like my favorite. I really liked Blood on the Root and the Conjure Island book, and then probably Love Magic, and then this one was probably number 4 out of these 4. The story was really good. It's like a mystery. These hoodoo people, it's a family. They live in this house. They all live together, work together. They have special, different ones have different talents and stuff as far as what they're able to do. And then there's some type of curse that needs to be broken. That was the part that got me. I'm like, it was okay, but I don't know, just everything that happened with that, it just not really threw me off, but I was just like, it made it a little cheesy to me. I just think it could have been something more sinister or something. I don't know. I guess it's like a kid's book, but I was looking for something more like, more page turning kind of thing. Like, it was good. Don't get me wrong. It is worth the read, and it was good. But at the end, I was just like, I just wanted something a little bit more devious or something. I don't know. But yeah, I would still recommend it. It was still really a really good book. Just a little on the end. Okay, so that was that for like the books that we read in the morning. Also with my younger daughter, we read in after school. So we read a book first thing and then we read after school. My older daughter doesn't want to read with us after school, so she just goes and she does her own thing. But me and my other daughter, we stay together. And we did start this book in the summer, and then I don't know, we fell off somewhere, but we finished it. I don't know, maybe before Christmas break or Thanksgiving break. I don't remember. But we did finish it because I'm like, girl, we got so many books to go through. And our afternoon reading is mostly, this year is going to mostly be about gods and goddesses. And so this was a really, really fabulous book to start it off with. It's African Goddess Initiation. It introduced us to so many Black goddesses, both that were living and some that were just energy. I love the way that she did this book. It's just the same format for every goddess. It kind of gives their story. She tells where they're from. She gives a message. She gives their story. Like this one is segment. She puts a little picture, like how she depicts them, I guess. And then she gives information, like depending on what their energy is for, she kind of gives you like a message about it. And then she also gives you like some sort of ritual that you can do. Like, okay, so this one says how to honor the goddess. And then, because she's in here, she says the wounded healer. So she gives a little blurb about let's talk being a wounded healer. And then she says how to honor the goddess, traditional wounded healer ritual. And then, so she breaks that down, what you would do for that and why. And then it'll be like the next one. She does give a very nice introduction of the book. And then she breaks the goddesses down into temples. So the temples are, let's see. So she has the threshold, Sankofa, the temple of ancestors, your soil energy channel. She has the temple of conjurers, your creation energy channel, the temple of warriors, the temple of shadows, the temple of lovers, the temple of griots, I think that's how you pronounce it, the temple of queens, and then the temple of high priestesses. And then she has a conclusion, a manifesta, and then she gives you like the initiation playlist and a whole bunch of other things within the book. But I loved it. I thought it was really beautifully written. I thought she honored all the goddesses so beautifully. It is a lot in here. I don't even remember. I don't know if it tells you how many they are like offhand. I don't feel like counting them. But it is a lot. You can see she's pretty thick. It's not a horrible read. It's just very nice, calming. You feel like you're talking to like an elder, a cousin, someone who loves you, and they're just trying to give you information. They're not pushing it down your throat. You can do it as you please. And then once you're done, you're, initiated into the the African goddess initiation. You're a goddess. And there's also a deck of cards that goes with this, very beautifully done. She has a couple of decks that are really, really nice. She has a YouTube, she has Instagram, the author, Abiola Abrams. And I would really recommend that book for anyone who loves like mythology and who wants to, start getting into it and looking at it and seeing what's out there. It's a really nice book. We're doing astrology as part of science. So I got this book. I love this author, Stephanie Caponi. I think it's how you say her name. This was guided astrology, and it just broke stuff down. It made sense to me, and astrology is like a foreign language to me. So it's pretty hard. I'm not going to say that I'm an astrologer or anything, but I did get a lot out of this book and reading my chart and then trying to help my daughters with theirs. And they were able to do a lot of the work by themselves. I printed them out their birth chart from, I think it's like Astro something. I'm not, just forget it. You can just Google like birth chart. I printed it out for them, and I also laminated it for them. And then we went through this book a little at a time, and it was pretty fun. They enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We were like teasing each other, like, yeah, that sounds just like you, like blah, blah, blah kind of thing. So that was really nice. And she does have another book. She has a tarot book actually, and I used that one. That's how I found her. I found that tarot book, and I have a couple. I love that book. And then she also has like a numerology book coming out, so I will definitely be getting that for me and my daughter to work on next year. But this one I did love, and you can use it and go back, over and over again as much as you need. She has little places for you to write and break down your chart a bit. So yeah, really recommend that. Lastly, we do and love history. And we do a lot of Black history. My favorite thing about homeschooling is I teach my kids Black history. Okay. And then when I'm teaching regular history, I teach them real history. So this one here, we did the Howard Zinn United States. I'm sorry, A Young People's History of the United States. They do, with these series, they have like adult versions and then they have the young adult versions, our young, I guess, young people's. And so I went with this one and I love this book. Now, when I'm reading some of the reviews, people are haters and they're saying it's not real history and this person is this and that, blah, 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 whatever. It was real to me, okay? A lot of this stuff was just on point, made sense, 100%. It has some like photos in there and it just gives a history from the beginning of the Americas to about like 2018, 2020, something like that. I don't remember where we left off, but it's a complete history. It's a pretty thick book, but it's an easy read and the words are a decent size and they don't fill up the whole page. And then again, like I said, you have pictures, there's stories within it. It gives history on like it gives some Black history in there and it gives Latino history, which was pretty nice. And I think this was an updated version because I think before it did not have the Latino history in there, or Latin, I don't even know, like I don't know if that's the correct word, and I'm learning about that. I think it was in here. Anyhow, it gives the history of those people, and a big thing that I did not know was that Spanish is a colonized language. I don't know why that did not click to me because I know, but it didn't click. And now I'm seeing like, oh my God, like that's crazy. Like I always think like, oh, they have their language, they have their, they don't. They do not. And that makes me so sad. Like, I hate that that's happened to so many of us. And hopefully, like, we can reclaim those things within our lifetime. And that's what I'm trying to do for my kids. But I know that it's hard and that it, like, especially with us, like, African American, it's a different culture, you know, like, it's totally different than, like, Black American culture. So the things that I'm able to do, I'm trying to do, and there's so many things I don't even know or know how to or where to start. But hopefully that will come. And then the last book that we read is American Indian, the First Nations Life, Myth, and Art. And I like this because it just is everything that I like to learn about. And I had got this from Goodwill. See my little sticker on there? I got it from Goodwill and I was so happy about this find. And it was a pretty good book. Straightforward pictures, information. We always, you know, take stuff like this with a grain of salt. And then as well, last year we read the Native American version of this and it was so good. And again, I just like learned so much stuff and could not, like, I know, again, the history of like the Native Americans were treated so poorly and like horrible. Like, I don't even think poorly is a word. And then, versus like what I learned in school, like, oh, we had a Thanksgiving and we were happy and we shared and blah, 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 like all that bull crap. We learned that real history and I like walked away from it like, what? You know? And so again, that's another highly recommended book. I think it's like Native American history for